Hey, what's up? My name is Jonathan Fink. This is my audiobook series, live and free on YouTube. Up next, The Pokemon Gods Are Real, Chapter 37, Numerology of Collecting. Every system of belief eventually discovers numbers. Not mathematics in the rigid academic sense, but numerology, the human instinct to assign meaning to patterns, sequences, and quantities. When economists see data, believers see symbols. Where statisticians see probability, collectors often see destiny. Pokemon, perhaps, more than any other modern collectible universe, invites this way of thinking. From the earliest days of the hobby, numbers have carried weight far beyond their technical definitions. Print runs, pull rates, population reports, set sizes, these figures do not remain neutral for long. They acquire emotional gravity. They begin to feel charged, almost alive, as if the structure of the hobby itself speaks through them. Collectors rarely articulate this directly, yet they live it constantly. Consider how naturally numbers shape perception. A card limited to a small population instantly feels different from one printed in abundance. A population report showing only a handful of pristine examples transforms cardboard into treasure. The number itself becomes part of the relic's identity, but numerology in collecting extends beyond simple rarity. It creeps into ritual, superstition, and narrative. Collectors speak of lucky pack counts, cursed boxes, and magical streaks. They remember how many packs it took to pull a grail, as though the quantity itself holds meaning. It took exactly 10 packs. The hit came on the last box. 3 bad ETBs, then everything changed. Numbers become stories. This transformation is deeply human. Our minds are built to seek patterns, to impose order on randomness, to interpret coincidence as significance. In a hobby governed by probability, yet experienced emotionally, numerology emerges almost inevitably. Pull rates become prophecies. Ratios become omens. Sequences become signs. Even disappointment is counted. A long run of empty packs feels heavier, not just because of the losses, but because of the accumulating numbers. 5 misses becomes a streak. 10 becomes a drought. 20 begins to feel metaphysical, as if some unseen force has intervened. The mathematics of probability quietly yield to the psychology of meaning. The numbers feel personal. Rating cultures intensify this phenomenon. Population counts, gem rates, and condition rarity turn numerical abstractions into objects of fascination. A single-digit difference in population report can dramatically alter perception. POP 9 and PSA 10 are separate by only 1 unit, yet psychologically, they may inhabit entirely different universes. Numbers shape reality because humans react to them as though they matter. And in markets driven by perception, they do. Numerology also governs collector identity. Some pursue specific numbers obsessively. A binder ordered numerically does more than organize. It creates harmony, structure, completion. Gaps are not merely absences of cardboard, but fractures in symbolic order. Completion is numerical salvation. This explains the peculiar satisfaction collectors feel when finishing sets or achieving symmetrical arrangements. The pleasure is rarely economic alone. It is aesthetic, psychological, almost spiritual. A completed sequence quiets the mind. The numbers align. Chaos yields to order. The collection feels whole. Importantly, numerology thrives precisely because collecting exists at the boundary between chaos and control. Collectors cannot determine what lies inside sealed packs, yet they can count, categorize, measure, and track. Numbers provide the illusion, and sometimes the comfort of structure within uncertainty. They are anchors in randomness. Pokemon's design unintentionally nurtures this mindset. Set numbering, rarity symbols, pull distributions, and evolving print dynamics create a landscape rich with numerical signals. Collectors read these signals instinctively, weaving interpretations that blur logic and intuition. The numbers appear to whisper, yet numerology is not irrational folly. It's a natural byproduct of human cognition, interacting with probabilistic systems. When outcomes feel emotionally charged, patterns acquire meaning. When meaning acquires consensus, markets respond. Perception loops back into price, reinforcing the symbolic power of numerical distinctions. Belief reshapes value. Over time, certain numbers acquire near mythic status within Pokemon culture. They become shorthand for eras, identities, and collective memory. They function less as quantities than as symbols, numerical icons that compress vast histories into simple figures. Few numbers illustrate this more powerfully than the one that stands at the center of Pokemon's entire mythology, 151. But before reaching that sacred figure, it's worth recognizing the deeper truth numerology reveals about collecting itself. Beneath spreadsheets, price guides, and probability tables lies something profoundly human: the desire to find meaning in randomness, structure in chaos, and destiny in numbers that, on paper, should be indifferent. Collectors do not merely calculate, they interpret. And in that interpretation, the quiet act of assigning significance to patterns, the hobby transcends mathematics and enters something closer to faith. End of chapter 37. Up next, chapter 38, the divine number 151. Please give it a like. Please give it a follow. Subscribe. You guys take care. Grateful for all of you. As always, God bless.